One Team Media.
We showed you what the GOAT was last year when we beat y'all 50-7.
Let's go! One team!
Relax, big boy.
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
Team One Podcast?
One Team, One Podcast?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Really good job.
Yeah. Why is he so fat?
One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast. One team, one podcast.
All right, graphics team.
One Team, One Podcast, back. Coffee and Donuts edition, our first Coffee and Donuts of the year.
Feels a lot like last year.
It does. Well, you know what it does feel like last year so far is because power is still an issue.
Sure.
And so now here we are. We're remotely. We're over at the family house here, and not back in the studio yet. I just went back to the house and grabbed all this equipment and brought it over here. Power's back on.
Fucking yeah. Hell yeah.
Fucking A. This is the best weekend ever now.
That's beast.
Yeah. So I'm still dealing with that.
Back in the Courtesy Automotive Studio.
We'll be back there next
Thursday.
week.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back there after this though to make sure they didn't turn it on to turn somebody else on and then turn us back off again.
Oh wait, we turned them on. I don't want them on.
Because we've already done that shit once.
Yeah, I know.
I've already thrown. I gave all of our gas away.
Yep.
For our generator. We ended up taking all the stuff out of the fridge. So
Sure.
I don't know. Whatever. So it's been a shit week.
Yeah.
Been a pretty shit week.
Yeah. Not fun.
No.
Not fun.
I came over here yesterday. We watched the game. We're going to talk all about the game. I got plenty to talk about, and if you guys follow us on Twitter, you see that I'm at a complete loss.
Here's a comment already. Anthony Bradford looks like he's sat in on too many coffee and donut sessions.
Maybe, dude. I look. All right, let's just start.
Sure. Let's just dive.
Feel like you're struggling with the power. Appreciate that. All right. We got our asses completely kicked. Yeah. By UCLA. And I'll be honest with you. I was about to win $2,000 on this game. So I'm really upset. But it's the point of now where we're getting manhandled up front that I'm like, okay, there's some severe problems here.
Yeah.
Big time problems.
Yeah.
It is not just, obviously our linebackers can't cover crossing routes. We all get that.
Sure.
Max Johnson looks shaky. Offensive line looks shaky. They're not playing well with. They're not making adjustments. Pete's not making any adjustments on offense, which I don't have an answer for you. Why isn't our defense making any adjustments on these routes that they just ran over and over and over?
Yeah,
I don't have any answers for that. But what I'm really, really concerned about is that UCLA's offensive line completely manhandled our defensive line.
Right.
Completely.
In the second half.
Yes.
Right.
And just had their way with us. And that is to the point where, okay, we have to really, really look at ourselves in the mirror here. Is this the direction of the program that we need to be in right now?
Right. And I don't know if it's necessarily they out-physicaled us. I think it was a lot of us playing back on our heels on defense. Because in the first half, I felt like our defensive line won the battle.
I can see that.
Of the line of scrimmage. We got a bunch of they really couldn't run the ball in the first quarter. And then I don't know, they broke that one run, and then it just felt like after that we were trying to play catch up the whole rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that it was like we weren't creating push with our D line because we didn't. I don't know. We looked confused, and then linebackers aren't filling holes. You got safeties just literally running right into blocks, and then obviously nobody could tackle Charbonnet. So
I agree with that. I being on our heel, we said that a lot last year. Like Damone Clark just always seemed like he was flat-footed at the beginning of every play. And
he seemed less flat-footed today than he did at the beginning of last year, but it still feels a little bit like last year.
Well, what was the one replay that they showed where they're still trying to communicate with each other right before the snap, and of course the tight end has a free release.
That was Jordan Tolles.
Tolles was communicating with
somebody.
Yeah, looked over at Damone Clark, and then they snapped the ball. Tolles is already left in the dust by the tight end. That was very eerily reminiscent of 2020.
Sure.
To the point, it's like a physical illness. Point of no return.
Yeah, Chris saying what we just said. Yeah, defense on their heels. Yeah, no swag. Sure, the swag word. It's just there's no aggression. Like, I feel like we didn't make adjustments.
Nope.
Chip Kelly made really good adjustments in the game, I thought. He attacked our linebackers. That was the weak point of our defense. That's what we were worried about, could be the weak point. But we thought it was okay. Turns out it's definitely still a weak point.
Everything that we said in the offseason, this is like, dude, this is just fucking 2020 all over again. This is why I'm so down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was livid after the game.
Yeah.
But last year, before the season, we were all like, okay, no, we're rolling. Joe Brady wasn't the offensive coordinator. It was Steven Zminger. We said all these things that everybody, it was the propaganda machine that we was just take and run with it.
Sure.
And then this year it's the same thing. Oh, no. We figured out the defense. The miscommunication is not going to happen anymore. They got the guys in place. And I'm just telling you, I fucking love Durante Jones as a human being. So,
sure.
Jake Peets coming in, going to run the Joe Brady system. We're back to where we were in 2019 as far as scheme wise. And yeah, we don't have the personnel yet, but we're going to get there, and it's going to be, and then we just get completely humiliated, in my opinion, on national TV by a Pac-12 school that can't even fucking fill their stadium.
Yeah.
That's bad. Especially when you had 30,000 LSU fans make the trip to the Rose Bowl. Hopefully some of you guys are in the chat. I know John Peterson was probably not happy.
Some of y'all might be watching from a plane right now.
Yeah. Who knows?
If you are watching from a plane,
let us know. Yeah. So what other questions we got? Knowing game and Justin felt like Les Miles again. Here's the thing. I saw this. T-Bob said this. The one thing that you knew about with Les Miles teams, you weren't going to get whooped on the line of scrimmage. You're not.
Sure.
You were not going to get whooped on the line of scrimmage. We at least had that. Now, what do we have? We have two corners who can guard, but then they can't tackle. Ricks can. Stingley can't tackle.
Stingley cannot tackle.
So you can talk all big and bad if you want about Derek Stingley, but
sure,
he's got some issues.
Yeah. And granted, he shouldn't have to make that many tackles.
No, he shouldn't.
He was put in so many situations where he had to make tackles. He shouldn't be in that many situations, but he should still make the fucking tackles.
And this isn't like all on. I mean, nobody could make a tackle last night.
Right.
None of them.
Right. I was thinking about it last night. I was thinking, like, who on this team did not play like pretty bad yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, Kayshawn
he did everything he could.
Kayshawn's amazing.
Why aren't we giving him the ball more?
150. I mean, he had 10 catches.
All right, let's talk about the offense a little bit.
Yeah,
because UCLA's blitzing every fucking down.
Yeah, and I think that was something that surprised the coaching staff. And it surprised me because I had actually gone back. I had watched some UCLA games. I had never seen them blitz that much. So I think the coaching staff was shocked by that. But it took them so long to adjust to it. And then even then, it still wasn't like you weren't attacking it correctly. You don't throw – no one was throwing directly at the blitz. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
They're blitzing over the middle. Throw it over the freaking middle.
Well,
they're blitzing from the left. Throw it left.
You remember it was was it Kayshawn? Yeah, it was the Kayshawn touchdown. It was 1-on-1 at the bottom of the screen. So when they're blitzing like that,
he had 3.
No, it was the long pass. He did a slant over the middle and then he caught it and he was
when
on.
He took the ref.
Right. Yeah. He took the ref. Well, he was 1-on-1 was the thing. Like, so before the play, you see everybody coming up to the line and you see obviously he's 1-on-1 outside. It's cover 0. There's nobody back there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's got to go here. It's got to go there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they did it. But there were other times during the game where they had a 1-on-1 matchup and they just weren't even looking in the direction. And I'm like,
Max looked completely flustered. He looked like he was not ready for anything that they threw at him.
And that's my point is, and this is not harping on Max Johnson, but it's why are we not prepared for this stuff?
Right. That's what I was saying earlier. Is that like
this gets to a bigger picture.
When I say that a player's not prepared, I'm not blaming the player for that. That's on the coaches.
Yeah.
They didn't do a good job getting him ready for the game.
Right.
I mean, simple as that. It's like, and I know Max Johnson's not an idiot. I know he's a smart quarterback because we saw him twice last year being smart, and we've heard players say multiple times he's such a smart guy. He's such a smart quarterback.
Yeah, he was rattled.
Yeah, no,
no doubt.
completely rattled.
And you can talk about the offensive line not getting
And he's
pressure.
a poised guy for the most part.
Well, the offensive line not blocking for him, but when you're bringing 7 guys, I don't want to keep tight ends in. I don't want to keep running backs in. That's not what we did in 2019.
Sure, but I mean,
we spread everybody
out. But if they're blitzing 7-8, you got to keep someone in the chip.
Well, I say spread it out. Get your dump offs.
Yeah.
Have your running backs go out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to make that defense adjust. They have to. I don't want to revert back to, okay, now we have to keep a tight end in, and we have to keep and you have to change your philosophy because the defense dictated it.
Yeah.
I felt like that's kind of what we were doing.
Is our philosophy though to have running backs?
I don't know what our philosophy is now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we didn't do that.
I thought I knew.
We didn't do that all last year, and so far this year we have not done that. So I'm assuming that's not part of our philosophy. We need to add that to our philosophy.
And we talked about this. Somebody tweeted it. I wish I remember who said it, but you said this last week though. At this point, anything that Ed Ogeron says, I am not believing until I see it on the field.
Yeah,
I'm at that point where, and you got it. All you people that want to say 2020 didn't matter, 2020 didn't happen, 2020, that's not. It was so many excuses. There were so many, people that we lost, COVID, blah blah blah, Bo Pelini. Well, guess what? 2021, it looked like that.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. This should be red alert on all LSU fans, because nothing has seemed to gotten better from 2020.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is that I feel like I actually thought all the corners played well in coverage. There was the
Ricks interception was fantastic.
Sure, yeah, and we knew Stingley and Ricks were awesome. But what I like to see, I thought Cordell Flott actually came in and played really well. That's one of the only things on this.
You're trying to find positives.
That's the only thing I think that.
Where the fuck was Mike Jones?
Mike Jones didn't even play. I don't think he got in the game. What about Josh White? What about?
Yeah.
I mean, I
know.
So Jared Small's out for the season.
I don't know anything about that. I know he was hurt.
They said during the game. They said he had a knee injury and he's out for the year.
First we heard anything of that. I don't know.
He was that morning. He was listed as the starter, and then that night they're saying he's out for the year. What the hell happened in 10 hours?
Do we know about John Emery? Why he's out?
Coach O said
it was a
week
suspension.
To week. He said week to week after the game. It doesn't.
Or is it an injury?
That doesn't sound like suspension. I mean, Coach O also said this week that
I don't know what the fuck's
he
going
was
on anymore.
Just coming back from injury, and then Jontre Kirkland, day of the game, is out. What the hell happened?
Jontre Kirkland's out. Malik Neighbors is out. Deion Smith's out.
Deion Smith. So okay, Malik Neighbors, that's an injury.
Right.
Deion Smith, that's he violated team rule or something.
Okay. And I know you have a lot of those on
maybe
first
Kirkland's
games.
the same. I don't know. I mean, we know nothing. We know nothing.
We know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah.
That was that's a Hold the Mayo reference. So I don't know where we go from here. Obviously you have a bounce back McNeese State game. For everyone that is saying relax, stop, it's the first game of the season, come on, hold. No, you should be on alert.
Yeah.
This is for all the people that had all these things about 2020 when we were 3-5 and they were like, oh, this is a bullshit year, blah 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 blah. I don't know what you have to say now. And
he's 5-6 in his last 11 games.
Yes.
5-6.
We're 5-6 the last 11 games.
That's pretty bad.
That's not good. And we've said this before on the podcast. And look, I am not let's put real estate signs in his yard and he's got to go right now. No, I'm saying by the end of the year, if we have 5 losses, I think he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'd say Okay, let's.
And then we're 0-1.
Yeah.
So we got 4 games. All right. So let me list these out. After last night, Auburn, Ole Miss,
Yeah.
Texas A&M,
Mhm.
Alabama,
Yeah. Florida.
and Florida. Those were 5 games. How many of those, after watching last night?
If you play the way you played last
Yes.
night. Yep. No, you lose all 5 of those games.
That should be red alert.
Yep.
You should be criticizing. Everybody should be criticizing what they saw last night.
Yeah.
Don't just let it go and say, well, it's a long season. Let's just let it play out. Bullshit. Figure it out. And that's what I was saying last night. It is time to figure it out. This should have been fixed. I thought it was fixed last year going to Florida. And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not fixed. And there's so many issues. It's linebackers can't cover. We can't get pressure on the quarterback because we still not getting pressure on the quarterback. They're standing straight up. They're not getting.
No.
We're not blitzing.
We're not blitzing at all.
We're not blitzing. We're letting tight ends run free. You know, I didn't see a wheel route. Thank God. I don't know what would have fucking happened. Our heads would have fallen off. You know, let's see. Offensively, we are vanilla.
Very vanilla.
It's so vanilla, it's not even funny.
There's no misdirection.
There's no misdirection. UCLA's got things happening all over the place.
Yeah.
They know they're trying to score fucking points.
Yeah.
And we're just running hitches. That's all we fucking do.
That's why I think one of my trigger phrases now is we want to get it to our guys in space so that they can make plays.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of hearing that shit.
Where's the screen?
Because that's all we fucking did yesterday. Is try to get it to players in space and then just hope they fucking make a guy miss.
Hey,
Kayshawn's the only guy who can make guys miss. I just went back and watched the game this morning. There's no one else that makes guys miss. No one on the team.
You know, why can't you run screens and things like that? Like, you know, one of the things
we ran a few screens to Trey Palmer.
Right, I'm talking about even like a quick. It could be like 1 or 2 guys coming out of the line of scrimmage, but like you have, you know, maybe you have Josh Williams. I don't care who it is, but you just have a back go out there and catch a little quick screen.
And I mean,
when they're blitzing 7 and 8 with 0 coverage,
we can also talk about the fact that Corey Kiner didn't play. Like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know what's going on with the running backs at all.
I mean, either. I mean, like, why didn't he play? They said he's playing well.
We've said this a long time. Like, Ty Davis Price is a good back, but the offensive line didn't create any holes. Well, this year it's going to be different because Max Johnson's going to be able to run the ball a little bit, and the offensive line is going to be able to bullshit.
Max Johnson wasn't able to run the ball because they were spying him the whole game.
Yeah, we made no adjustments.
They did a phenomenal job containing him.
RPOs. There was one RPO. It worked to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it. Where he did a fake to the running back, quick slant, wide ass open, and it was like that quick action made the defense adjust, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. That worked. Yeah. Didn't see it again. Like what? I don't know what's going on. But everybody should be very, very concerned. And yes, Ed Ogeron is definitely on the hot seat.
No doubt.
And the love affair is over, just like I tweeted last night. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm kind of done with this whole hurrah, you know, rah Louisiana stuff. I'm done with the whole walking into the Rose Bowl saying, bring your ass with your sissy blue shirts, and then you get your fucking ass handed to you.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the walking down the Tiger Walk, acting like you're going to rip your shirt off to the crowd, and then you get your ass handed to you by Alabama.
Yeah.
Like this whole stick is worn out completely. If you can't show it on the field, it's worn out, man. I don't care if you're from Louisiana and you love gumbo or anything like that. It's worn the fuck out. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I just, yeah. Ed whiffed on so many D coordinator candidates.
Sure. So Brandon Stewart, good friend of mine, he was texting me last night, and he was saying the truth of the matter is Durante Jones is your 5th choice. He's never called plays before. I just thought I don't necessarily think it's a play calling issue, more as just like a preparation issue and communication issue. Yes, it's shtick. I caught it after I.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Peter. Go fuck yourself, Peter.
Yeah, you dick.
Yeah, you shtick.
Yeah, you stick.
So I think it's a preparation issue, communication issue. I don't know how much.
So
I have this.
what,
I have this like thought in my head that they were up in the box last night. First of all, does Durante Jones and Jake Peetz need to be on the field?
I don't know.
I think if you have communication issues, it won't hurt for them to be on the field.
No fucking shit. All right, yeah, okay. That's something I want to talk about. Why does it take us so fucking long to snap the ball?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Why aren't we hurrying
Snap
up?
the goddamn ball.
Especially when the defense
line.
is... Yeah.
It's no huddle. Why does it take 40 seconds to get a play in when you're going no huddle?
But sometimes we did this in 2019, and the reason I felt like we were...
But not that often. Not this often. You get to the line every single fucking time. They get to the line, they get the play in, everybody has it. Then they let the defense get set.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see what the defense does. They all look over, and it takes max 15 seconds to get the play to everybody. I mean, can we just go back to huddling up? Like, seriously.
Well.
I mean, you might as well.
Especially if you're allowing the defense to just completely dictate what they're going to do.
Exactly.
And they're coming up to the line. I don't mind if they're coming up to the line showing blitz, and then you're making your adjustments right there. But they don't do it.
You're letting them get a look at your formation for
But then they don't make the
seconds.
Adjustment on the blitz. If you see a one-on-one on the outside, obviously that's the way you need to go. You need to have a hand signal or some kind of shit. Yeah. The thing about Pete's coming in here, this guy coached Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be so innovative with the running backs coming in. I mean, we didn't see any of that. No. I mean, Ty Davis-Price looks like he's got concrete shoes.
Yeah, no, he looks genuinely slower.
He does.
He really does.
And
he looks like he's progressively gotten slower every year, I think.
Well, and he looks like he takes his time to find a hole that's not going to be there, and then it's 2 yards.
Yeah, he's a goal
every
line.
Damn play.
He's a goal line bat. At this point, that's just like all he can do, I guess. And it's hard for me to rail him too much because it's like we also don't run off tackle ever.
You know what?
We only run straight up the fucking middle.
I know.
Like, of course, that's so easy to stop.
Like what's even more frustrating about the running backs is when you watch what UCLA did and how they ran the ball. Is like I'm envious. I'm envious of how they ran the ball.
Yeah.
Their offensive line's obviously better than ours.
Someone text me last night and say, "Should we hire Chip Kelly?"
I mean,
like,
I don't.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know, man.
How much misdirection did Joe Brady really run, though?
They didn't, and so
it wasn't really misdirection. It wasn't a misdirection offense. It was more just like
a friend of mine,
pure execution.
Tim. So he said, I said we're 5-6 since. I said since Ed Ogeron got divorced. I kept it like that. We're 5-6 since the divorce.
I said 5-6 since he started like publicly having sex with people.
You said becoming a whore.
Yeah, became a whore. That's what I said.
I laughed. But he replied and he said, "Well, you're 5-6. Yeah, we're 5-6 since our on the field coach Joe Burrow left."
Yeah.
And how much do you start looking back at Joe Brady and Joe Burrow, how they made us?
It's like every single time someone has told me that Joe Brady and Joe Burrow aren't walking.
That's bullshit.
Every time someone has told me that Joe Brady and Joe Burrow isn't walking through the door, it's all starting to hit me right now.
It's
like, no, they're not. You're right.
It's I know.
It's sad.
I'm drinking my truth juice right now because that's what we're living through right now is all the things that all the national guys have said about us.
Spiked with tears.
Yeah. Bleep. All the national guys have been saying, "Oh yeah, Ed Ogeron's going to revert back to his form," and LSU, they caught lightning in a bottle. That's what we keep hearing, lightning in a bottle in 2019. Mm-hmm. And we saw the real LSU show up, and I was like, that's bullshit. Well,
yeah.
I'm here to take my medicine because.
So how quickly can we right the ship?
I mean, we did it last year.
And what has to be fixed? That can be fixed. Because I'm saying things like
I think you got to outscore teams.
Things like people tackling, that's not getting fixed.
Nope.
That's just going to have to we're going to have another offseason until that gets fixed.
I think
you
can't
teach tackling during the season.
I think you got to score points.
Yeah.
Kind of like last year.
I think it's tempo. I think it's you gotta. I mean, Jesus. I don't think it's gonna fix it, but I hope getting John Emery back fixes the running game.
Hurt.
I don't think it will. I'll say that because I remember games last year where we had 30 yards rushing as a team, and we had both running backs.
Yeah, but I want John Emery in there, not to just fucking run the ball up the middle. Take him,
but he will
run him out in the slot, go in motion, get him out on a linebacker.
I agree with you, but they're not going to do it. I mean, and granted, maybe I need to give Pete's another shot. It is only one game, and he didn't have his most dynamic running back, who was listed as the starter yesterday. So I'll give him more than one game to figure it out. I mean, it's not like we're going to fire him midseason, so we kind of have to stick with him.
And, we didn't give up 623 passing yards to Mississippi State, but this feels a lot like that game after that game where we came.
It feels similar. It feels
and we were
less.
Like in shock.
I'll tell you why it feels less too, because after Mississippi State, it was like, I think Mississippi State isn't that good, and we just like suck. This time, I'm like, okay, I actually think
you think UCLA is gonna be good?
UCLA could be like 9-3, 10-2 at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, this is a little different. That was actually a pretty good team. We did underestimate them, like for sure. Their defense was better than I thought. Their offense was better than I thought.
Is Hawaii better than we thought?
That's the new question.
For all you Hawaii haters out there, there's a lot of you. Yeah. Hawaii's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bullshit, bro.
Mm-hmm. No, we're bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm bullshit.
You're bullshit.
You're bullshit.
Yeah, I am bullshit. I'll take all the heat because I know I'm always like that. I have purple and gold glasses on all the time before the season starts, and I have all these predictions and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, now I'm just like, okay, I don't know.
John Emery hasn't shown us anything. I
agree.
I agree, and I just, I'm hoping. That's the only thing I can say.
Hope and pray.
I hope it's different.
Yeah,
that's all. That's the only thing I can think is like you add a guy who's dynamic into here, and hopefully that adds some explosiveness because there was no explosiveness on the offense yesterday except for Keishon Butte.
Is there any Nussmeier talk?
None in the chat, but I'm sure you've just triggered like 10 Nussmeier comments. I saw so many Nussmeier stuff.
I saw a lot of Nussmeier
I don't know
tweets.
if I'm with it.
I don't know if I am either.
In fact, I'm not with it. I don't know. I think with Max, it's like we didn't make adjustments. We didn't help him out. He made bad throws. He made late decisions. But I think overall, he was completely rattled and confused by the defense because he was drastically underprepared for the game.
Yeah.
And there were no adjustments made to help him out.
Dude, we should have
scored. He had no run game to help him.
We could have scored 40, 50 points on that team if that's all they're going to do.
Definitely.
Blitz on us.
Yeah.
Like, this is... I was
completely... and it's like maybe we make an adjustment and then they were going to make another adjustment, but I think they were just like, okay, I guess if y'all aren't going to adjust to this, then we're just going to keep blitzing you until you adjust to it.
Yeah, they were thinking. Okay, well, they came into it saying, "You guys have not a good. You have your offensive line is a question mark. You have a young quarterback. We're going to put pressure on this quarterback all day long and make him make decisions."
Yeah,
and he didn't do it. He couldn't make the quick decisions.
And I would have thought going into the game that he would make quick decisions, and I thought that's what kind of guy he was.
Well, he made a quick decision when he threw the ball over his head behind the back pass.
That was crazy. That was nuts. That was unbelievable. What the fuck was that? I've never seen that.
You know what I thought when he saw that? Brad Johnson was in the stands. Yeah. What was Brad Johnson's reaction? Maybe we should call Brad.
Yeah.
Brad, what was your reaction whenever your son threw the ball behind the back like he's in preschool?
I'm sure that the second Max did that, though, he was like, what the fuck was that? What am I doing?
So yeah, I saw something on Twitter. It said it was a big bad Brad trick shot.
Yeah, that's what I said. Damn, who tweeted that?
I don't remember.
I said the same thing at the time. There was actually when I went back and watched the game this morning, the interception he threw, where he just he had 8 guys blitzing him, he had 3 guys in his face, and he tried to just throw it, and it looked like he just threw it like 10 feet over Cole Taylor's head.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yep.
So Cole Taylor was supposed to be running like a crossing route,
Mm-hmm.
and he just stopped running. Max threw it to a spot, but Cole stopped. And like if Cole keeps running, he actually catches that ball, and we have like a 1 yard gain, but it's not an interception to the 15-yard line. That was not on Max Johnson, by the way. That interception that he threw, that was actually on Cole.
You want to tell you another guy I thought looked really good is Jack Besh.
Yeah, oh, dude. I mean, just not even if he wouldn't have even had a catch yesterday, I would have been like, he looks so good.
He looks great in pads. Yes,
Jesus Christ,
and
he looks like a god.
He can move very well.
Oh, he looks so good, dude. That pass that Max threw over his head, he got so high on that fucking. Oh my god,
that was a really bad throw.
That was a bad throw.
He had him too,
and Kayshawn was wide open over the middle.
All right, so coffee and donuts. We're gonna do this every week. We're trying to get it sponsored by Mary Lee Donuts, and we have some Mary Lee Donuts over there, but we're not gonna put them in the screen.
Your logo's not coming on
until you sponsor us, you cowards.
Yeah, answer my email.
That's right.
Do it. You can do it.
What else? What else?
All right, let's start thinking about the rest of the year.
Okay.
So you said 7-5 done?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have to do to get to 8-4?
8-4 is our saving point here.
So you got to win 2 out of those 5 games that we mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you have to win. You have to win Arkansas. You have to win Mississippi State. Yeah. You have to win
Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Let's add Kentucky to that list, by the way.
So we got 6 teams now. So
you have to win half of those 6 games. Half. That's all we're asking for is half.
So, okay, out of the 6, all right, so we got Florida, Auburn, Kentucky, Texas A&M, Alabama. Who am I missing? There was one.
Florida?
Yeah.
Auburn.
Florida, Kentucky, Auburn.
Alabama,
Texas A&M.
Ole
Miss. So you have to win 3 of those 6 games. In my opinion, it's got to be Kentucky. I think you can still beat an A&M team. Only because they're not good offensively.
And it's the last game of the year.
Yeah, in Tiger Stadium.
That's a lot of time to figure your shit out.
So Kentucky,
3 months.
A&M, Auburn. Lose to, I mean, you still got Florida. Florida's beatable probably. What did Florida do against FAU last night?
I have no earthly idea.
So Florida, Alabama.
They won 35-14.
Okay, that's not great, but still.
FAU scored all their points in the fourth quarter, though.
Okay,
so it was 35-0.
I think it's going to be a really tough year.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, unless you get it figured out offensively. Defensively, I just don't see how you're just going to figure this out, like you said. Like
we're about to get our first win in 2 years tomorrow.
So that's true.
That's nice.
That is true. This will be the
first. And you know, I mean, I guess Central Michigan's not as much. I mean, Central Michigan only lost to Missouri by 10. So, I mean, it's not.
You want to add them to the 6?
No, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, hopefully we beat the shit out of them, and then I think we play at Mississippi State the week after that.
And I think we can beat Mississippi State.
I think you should. I mean, they only by the tip of a finger beat Louisiana Tech. Literally by the tip of a finger.
You can crossing route against UCLA. Fuck, I don't know what's going to happen against Mississippi State now.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's all they do.
Yeah, they're just going to throw the ball like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how far I've gone so far after 12 hours is like it. I don't know if we can stop Mississippi State from scoring points enough to beat them. That's how bad things are in my heart.
Yeah.
I'm about to fucking have a stroke.
I agree. No, it's like I don't think that's if I had what's the line on that game, you think? It's at Mississippi State. LSU -7?
Yeah, probably.
Something like that. No?
I mean, I don't know.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
So
okay.
I had another point I was going to bring up.
What would you pick this team to go if you had to pick a number?
I mean, optimistically, I would say 8-4 now.
I think I'm going 8-4 as well. I think so.
I don't want something bad to happen to Ed Ogeron, but I just think at 5 losses, Scott Woodward's pulling the trigger, bro.
Yeah.
I saw somebody tweet about money again, and I'm like, nah, that's not going to be an issue, bro. Like,
Nah.
they're going to spend the money if they need to spend the money, especially if you have a program that's going downhill quickly.
Right. If you lose 10 games in 2 years, that's just unacceptable.
Man,
that's just completely unacceptable. I think 9-3.
Especially
if
when
you
you see,
I think if you get to 9-3 by the end of this year, that would be an incredible turnaround.
Man, all
I'd
right.
say that would be really, really impressive. If we get to that, I'd be pretty happy at the end of the year.
Big picture, 2019 was the greatest year ever, obviously, but it just felt like we were there on par with Alabama, Georgia, all these other, big time teams, Ohio State, Clemson. We were there.
Yeah. We were the best team ever.
2020 happens, obviously. It's a complete failure. Everybody leaves, all that kind of stuff. Well, now I am watching Alabama look better than they ever have. They have a better Tua at quarterback now.
Yeah.
Georgia is, basically just shut out Clemson.
Pretty much.
Ohio State still looks good. It's a Big Ten, but
they
still.
look all right. Yeah.
Everybody just passed us up.
Yep.
We just got passed up.
Yep.
I think Kentucky's passed us up probably. They're solid.
Yeah. I can't believe
it's
I
deflating,
bought tickets
man.
to the game the other day. I don't know.
You bought tickets to go to Lexington, huh?
I don't know if I want to go anymore.
I feel bad for the people that went to the Rose Bowl. We were thinking about that last night. Like, man, we almost pulled the trigger on those tickets.
Dude, I would have spent so much fucking money.
I'm sure everybody had a great time.
I would have spent all my money.
But man, this didn't that feel like
Wesley says he's got 9-3.
This feels like that
optimistic son of a bitch.
This feels like that that Wisconsin trip to Lambeau, where everybody went to Lambeau and
that's exactly what this game feels like to me.
We look like trash.
This feels more like that than it feels like Mississippi State to me.
3 games later, Les Miles was fired.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you lose to Mississippi State in a couple weeks, I'm not saying, but I'm saying that's pretty brutal.
That's tough.
You can't do that. I'd say you can't go. We would be 7-7 in the last 2 years at that point, and you'd have 2 losses to Mississippi State in that in those 14 games. I don't know. I would say that should be it if you lose in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. So we had some voicemails that we're gonna play.
Yeah,
so people were leaving us voicemails all day yesterday during game day.
Put that number up.
We actually have our intern Jude was in Los Angeles and giving us updates. So we're gonna play a couple of those. Let's see here. Saturday? Yeah.
I think his first one was on Friday, but
was it?
I think so.
I'm looking.
Jude the intern. That's nice. Where'd he go? Is he okay?
All right. Moving on to the next one. That was crazy. I don't even know what was going on.
What the hell happened?
I don't know.
Is he
next
okay?
one. Yeah.
Okay, he's all right. I guess he's good.
Yeah.
Was it? Was it a takeover? I think it was like 20. It was like 20. Okay. Jude again. Okay. Thanks for the update, Jude. Appreciate it. Oh shit, they can't hear it.
They can't?
Oh my god, so they're just watching us laugh this whole time?
Ah, damn it.
All right, well, we'll figure it
Oh
out.
well, we'll figure that out next time.
Jude was he was
giving us updates while he was there.
on
God
his
damn it, I
entire
can't
trip.
believe we didn't get that in there.
Well,
So
we look like some buffoons right now.
oh well. It usually works. I don't know why it didn't.
Yeah.
So
We don't have Sam here. I blame Sam.
yeah, Sam, our producer's not here.
Yeah.
Definitely blame him.
Yep.
And we're still remote locations, so I'm like plugging shit in, plugging shit, like unplugging it, plugging it out,
Yep.
like bringing it to Denham Springs, plugging it in there,
Just
then
frankly,
bringing it over here.
I'm too sad to test things. So
that's true. I am too.
Just too sad.
I'm ready to just go home to my air
Coach
conditioning and just lay in the bed for the rest of the day because that's kind of how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely depressed. LSU football is still not good.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah, it was not good.
I couldn't sleep.
I drank a lot of bourbon last night. Somebody said, because I think you said fire Coach O.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "Are you drunk? It's only the first game of the season." I said, "I am drunk." And
obviously,
no. It's
obviously I'm drunk. What is
but
this?
I said,
win or loss, I would be
But are
drunk.
you watching? It's like, yeah, I'm drunk. Of course.
Did you
drunk.
see the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a point, and I'm not saying either one way or another on this, but it's just a question that someone posed to me. If I told you right now that UCLA is going to go, let's say they go 11-1 this year and they win the Pac-12, and maybe they don't go to the playoff, but they're like the best team outside the playoff or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you then feel about this loss?
It's still brutal to me.
Yeah.
An SEC team shouldn't go in there and just get like dominated up front. Even if I don't care if they win the Pac-12. It's still, to me, it's embarrassing because of the level of athlete that we have, and you still can't get these guys in the right spots. Like, this isn't I think I heard that a few times yesterday. We're like, what, I think it was the Fire Coach O comment, and we say a lot of things when we're drinking, obviously, but
yeah,
Fire Coach O, but
you can't take everything we say on game day too seriously.
Yeah. Fucking relax.
That's
you
why
you want to say relax? Y'all relax.
We have this show to say
we have fun,
really,
man.
Right.
Like, yeah. So I think
we're going for shock value.
There's a couple of things that people would say to that Fire Coach O comment. They would say, "Well, who are you going to replace him with?" Like, well, that's not my fucking job to tell you who they're going to replace with. Mm-hmm. But all I can tell you is this isn't good. And if you're trying to apologize, be a Coach O apologist right now, I think you're speaking to the wrong person. Like, I don't know why you're still on this train of, well, he's a great guy for Louisiana. And he represents us. So no, right now we look like trash.
Yeah.
We're rah-rah. We can talk a big game, but we can't bring it. And until we can do that again, I hate to say this, but I really hate to say this, but take 2019 out of the equation and what do we look like as a program? Mm-hmm. And I'm not usually I would blast somebody for saying something like that, but like right now that's kind of how I feel is like, okay, 2019 may have just been an anomaly and we can't get it back on track.
Yeah.
It sucks. But
yeah.
It might be a bad take, whatever you want to call it, but
Sam Bacon said Chip Kelly, and I don't know exactly what his point was here, but
to hire Chip Kelly.
Is it to hire Chip Kelly or
probably?
Okay, well, half of the time it's that, and the other half of the time it's people are saying like
you want me to throw one out there?
Chip Kelly is a reason that like you shouldn't be happy about this because Chip Kelly is a terrible coach, and I'm so sick of hearing that, dude. Like, where is that coming from? When did people decide that Chip Kelly's not a good coach anymore?
I think it might have been. He hadn't been great at UCLA.
Yeah, but he inherited jack shit.
That I know. He only had like 50 guys on scholarship.
Exactly. Right.
So yeah, he's had to rebuild that place. But Oregon,
he's a good coach.
Oregon was great. He was great at Oregon.
That's why they beat us yesterday because they outcoached the absolute shit out of us.
For sure.
They outcoached us up and down the field.
But but I don't look at Chip Kelly as like on a Mount Rushmore of coaching.
No, not at all. But I'd say he's still a good.
Okay, who would y'all want to be our next coach? Because I just thought about this, and that's I don't know how anybody else would feel about this, but I'm giving Lane Kiffin the bag.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. I mean, do you want to throw everything at Joe Brady too? I would
Probably look at Joe Brady.
I would throw a lot of Joe Brady too. Shit, who else is there?
Hopefully Dave Aranda gets fired from Baylor and we bring him back as a DC.
That would be nice. I saw someone say maybe the Jaguars suck. I know it was Travis texted this to me. Maybe the Jaguars are terrible this year.
Grab
and they hire
Urban
Meyer. Yeah, I'm all about that.
I hate doing this after the first game, but the point is there are options, and whenever we are critical of Coach O, who are you going to hire? Well, there are plenty of people out there that can do it.
Yeah.
Why is it so hell bent on recreating Brady's offense? Just
I love this comment.
Go hire a proven OC that can run the shit the way.
I love that comment.
I do too.
That's why whenever we were hiring an OC or a passing game coordinator last year, or an OC this year even, I kept thinking that we should go hire who's the guy at Arkansas? Kendall Briles.
Mm-hmm.
He runs a fucking awesome offense.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. It's spread. It works at Arkansas, and Arkansas has jack shit on for talent on their on their receivers and running backs. I don't know, dude. It's like,
I think
you don't have to run the specific offense that you ran in 2019. There's a lot of offenses that work.
Yeah, and I think that the 2019 Brady offense, I think what we were trying to do was all we were doing right now this year was fixing our mistakes that we made in 2020. Our mistakes were that we Coach O checked out for about half the season, came back. They thankfully beat Arkansas, Florida, Ole Miss to kind of salvage the season at the end of the year. But like it was a fucking train wreck at the beginning of the year. A lot to do with your coordinators and who you have in play. Like you hire Bo Pelini, you don't even fucking interview the guy. Comes in, train wreck communicator, pissing guys off. There's turmoil all over the team.
Speed it up on the Bo Pelini talk.
Oh yeah. On the offensive side, you hire Scott Linehan as a guy that you want to bring in to kind of like fill the role of a Joe Brady. We were big on the Steve Ensminger is your guy, and he knows the offense. Well, it was so stale and vanilla last year. So I think what he was doing now is he's trying to let's go back to what worked in 2019, and I was on board with that. Let's go back with what worked in 2019.
I don't like that thought process at all.
Let's bring in a guy who can communicate on the defensive side that relates to the guys. Marcus Freeman, I'm sure I'm very interested to see Notre Dame tonight with Marcus Freeman as their DC. Oh, and yeah, if they fucking shut out Florida State, I'm pissed. I'm fucking pissed.
I mean, they're going to play well on defense, I can tell you.
So they're trying to find a good communicator on defense that can relate to the guys. The kids can play for them. They're all, juice is back, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like how Dave Aranda, he was soft-spoken, he's very quiet, but like powerful presence, right? Yeah. And like knew all the X's and O's. 2019 offensively, sorry, they bring Pete's in because Pete's is the guy under Brady. Brady gives them the rec.
Yeah.
And they're trying to just recreate 2019 scheme.
Yeah.
I get it all, but that ain't it.
Yeah.
Like what we saw last night, that's not it.
Here's why I don't like it.
That was 2020.
2019 and 2020, we were trying to do the same stuff in 2019, but it just doesn't work. And here's why. It's because 2019 was so good because you had elite players who were all really high IQ football players.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that this year's team, I mean, Keishon Butte is a high IQ guy. Max will be a high IQ guy, but he's young. That's not going to work because they're not going to be able to execute it at the same level that all those first-round picks were able to execute it.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
And my rebut to that has always been, yeah, but Joe Burrow in 2018 wasn't Joe Burrow yet. It took Joe Brady to come in and make him Joe Burrow.
Sure.
And put him in the right positions.
But also Joe Burrow is insanely good.
He is. But I'm saying in 2018, your offense didn't look great. Like we were good. We weren't like astronomical or anything like that. And look at Joe.
But it wasn't just
look at
Joe
Joe Burrow's numbers.
But it wasn't just Joe Burrow. It was also that he had Justin Jefferson and Terrace Marshall and Jamar Chase and Clyde and Thad and all that.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have that.
I was just always a big believer in that scheme made these guys, propped them up to the level that they are. And they're not scheme guys, but they were just talented guys that you had to put in the right spots.
They're also all elite talents. And I
yeah,
don't think.
But they were in 2018. That's my point, though. They were in 2018, too. We just didn't put them in the right spots. And I feel like that's kind of what it is now, is like they're all elite guys. I mean, we have fucking 4 and 5 stars all over the fucking field, defensively and offensively, and we still can't put them in the right spots to be at that level that they need to be at. Sure. Talent isn't the issue.
Yeah, but there's no fallback for if players aren't good at executing.
So, all right, that was another thing that I wanted to talk about is when you say fire Coach O and people say, well, is it O's fault that the offensive line can't block?
Yes.
Is it O's fault that we can't guard a crossing route?
Yes.
These guys are just piss poor execution, piss poor effort. Is that O's fault? Yes.
There's no. You have to be able to fall back on your players not being able to do a certain thing.
These guys are talented.
Yes.
Damone Clark last year, talented. We saw him in 2019, super talented.
Yeah.
You're not putting him in the right spot. He's just not in the right spot.
Right.
I think the kid's great. I think he's for him to even stay here after last year. Yeah. I can't believe he didn't transfer out. He's still here. I saw that kid in high school just wrecking people.
Another guy that I think is not on the field enough is Micah Baskerville.
Yeah. I saw him a lot last night.
I think he's our best linebacker, but he comes out a lot, and Damone stays in every play.
I don't know if that 4-2-5 is really going to work. I don't think they can run. I don't think we have the linebackers that can run sideline to sideline that they need.
I think the problem with that 4-2-5 yesterday was that they were putting 2 tight ends in a lot, and like we just weren't able. That's a big reason that they out physicaled us because they were just going with some somewhat jumbo sets.
Yeah, and I just can't. I still can't believe we weren't blitzing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Make this kid make more decisions in the backfield.
It's what we talked about right at the beginning. We're just on our heels.
I wouldn't mind you blitzing and that Charbonnet kid bust the run because you blitzed, but like how many losses in the backfield are we going to get if you did? You got to take some chances. You just can't sit back there and let these guys just dictate what they're going to do to you at the line of scrimmage. I mean, it looked so vanilla on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And you just had quality coaches on the other side of the sidelines, scheming you to death. It was deflating.
Yeah,
very deflating.
Still deflated.
I was really hoping for a fun coffee and donuts. We hadn't had a fun coffee and donuts
ever.
Since Florida. After Florida, we were like, woo woo.
Yeah, I mean it was, but it was like still like not that great.
It was like, oh, thank God.
Because it was like we were still in the midst of a horrible season. We still had a losing record at the time.
Yeah, but we were like, oh.
So today I was hoping like, okay, we'll have a winning record today.
I had so much fun on Twitter after Florida.
Yeah.
Man, that was the best time ever.
Idiot.
God.
We haven't had a winning record since 2019 at any point. At no point last year did we have a winning record.
Wow.
Hopefully we beat Central Michigan. And we'll have a winning record in 2 weeks.
All right.
That would be huge.
If we're 1-2.
If we lose to Central Michigan, he should be fired before the clock hits 0.
Wow.
He should be fired.
Hot take city.
Is that even a hot take?
No, it's not. But things are gonna get really hot in this.
If anyone in this disagrees with that, just let me know.
If we lose to Central Michigan, is Coach O fired? Like Monday?
Yes. No, wow. Sunday. Why would he even last through Saturday night?
Exit interview? I don't know.
Exit interview.
That is. Whew. All right. On that note, I feel like we need to wrap it up. We'll be back. So the schedule hopefully gets back to normal now that we have power. We'll be back in the Courtesy Automotive Group studio. We'll have Wednesday nights. We're going to try to start that up this next Wednesday. Chris is probably on the chat still, but the Durante Jones Bourbon Club. We'll have that live from Hayride Scandal on Wednesday nights. We'll have One Team One podcast back in the studio on Thursday nights. And then we have Willie Bets. That's our live YouTube betting show on
finally be in person.
Yeah, be in person. We do that in the studio too. Is that what you want to do?
Sure.
Friday nights. That's a little short. Kind of get everybody up to date on some college lines.
Get you ready for the weekend.
And then we'll have coffee and donuts on Sundays after the game. So I hate doing Saturday night shows because I need to think about. Actually, would it have been any different if we would have done a Saturday night show?
Yeah,
I think we would have been yelling more.
We would have been angrier.
Yeah. So I think we needed that. We need that night's sleep to like.
Yeah. Just get our thoughts together.
We fucking suck.
Yeah, that's why I think it's better to do it in the morning. There are some guys that can do it at night and still be calm, but that's because they have to be calm.
Yeah, they're media guys. Yeah, right. We're fans.
Yep, and we have no rules.
We have fans and extension cords.
Our boss is us.
That's right. I can say whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate everybody. A big shout out to all of our sponsors: Bank of England Mortgage, Courtesy Automotive Group. We have River Cities, Total Maintenance, Bogies in Baton Rouge, Staple in Baton Rouge, Fred's in Tigerland. So we need to get out and see Nay over there. You guys got some cards for Fred's, huh?
Yeah.
Relief Pools. Ben Landry's doing a lot of work at Relief Pools right now, so give the guys a call. And Bocock Brothers Cigars got a new little shipment. And then Bear Process Safety. We appreciate those guys. They've been with us for a long time. We got the big orange bear right here. Actually, he's on camera.
Yeah.
Bear Process Safety is really good guys with us. So
and Hold the Mayo.
Hold the Mayo. Yeah, we got Hold the Mayo. A little Hold the Mayo action.
Little
Devin
free
Snow.
Ad this entire
that's right. We appreciate everybody for joining us today, listening to us bitch and moan. Should we just call it bitching and moaning instead of coffee and donuts? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
All right. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night. Yeah, change the graphic. Wednesday night from Hayride Scandal. If y'all guys want to join us, you can as well. Probably 5 to 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. We're still trying to figure out that schedule, and I'll let everybody know on Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So appreciate everybody for joining us again. It's been One Team One Podcast.
Logging out.